ODM is dying. And I said it a while back. Nilisema hapo nyuma. Nikawambia the decision of Raila Odinga to work with William Ruto will cost him and will cost ODM big. And most of you did not agree with me. Most of you came back and started saying no, especially those Baba supporters. The decision that Raila Odinga this time made to support William Ruto was a disastrous decision. And I think God did that deliberately so that he can expose Raila Odinga for who he is. I said it a while back. If you people keep on following me, and those people who have been following me from way back, you will realize I said all these things. Tell me why ODM in all the in areas whereby they are known to have like dominance. Nobody has taken in the nominations in the by-elections that are happening. Nobody has taken an ODM ticket. Tell me, in the Kisii region, no one has taken. Western, no one has taken. It's only in Magarini, which some ODM member of parliament had to be asked to step down for the ODM candidate. And now that guy has moved to DCP. Yet it's the same person who made sure that there's a by-election in that area. So tell me why people are not rushing for ODM certificates, for ODM nominations, for ODM tickets, yani. Sifuna talked about this. The same way Sao Karoli is speaking about the same thing. But before I go into the details, if you're watching me for the first time, kindly take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a video, you will always be the first to watch. So kindly do so, na kama kawaida, I will be back. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and for the non-subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Now back to my video. As I'm saying that ODM is dying, and ODM is dying a natural death. And if there is a surprise that is coming, if there's something that is waiting, a shocker that is waiting, ODM and Raila Odinga is in 2027. ODM has been reduced to a regional party. It's a Nyanza affair party. And we told Raila this, and he never listened. Raila felt like anytime he make a decisions, Kenyans don't need to question him. Kenyans just need to sit back and follow him. Because Raila felt like he's still living in the 90s, whereby whatever he said was the law, or whatever he said, people will follow. When he joined William Ruto, people told him, no, this time you've made a wrong move, and he never listened. Now ODM is paying the price for that. Sifuna said this a while back, that people no longer rush for ODM tickets anymore. Sifuna said about this, and now Karoli Omondi is also saying the same thing. I want you to watch these videos, and then I'll come back. Watch this.
That decision has not been made.
Okay, let me hear what Honorable Karoli has to say about this, because this was a direct attack towards ODM. They were having two camps.
First, let me thank His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga for the invite, personal invite to the ODM celebrations. Your intellectual energy and pioneering vision as a founder of ODM provided the scaffolding on which the movement was built. I thank him very much for that. Anyway, let me explain this. ODM today is not what it was 20 years ago. When we formed ODM and we first went to elections in 2007, in a parliament of 2010 members, ODM won 96 seats on its own. Then we had another 9 affiliates. By 2013, in a parliament of 290, we were down to, I think, 87. We have gone down further. So we are not what the strength that we once were. And let's not pretend. The idea of broad-based has brought a lot of schism in the party. There are two different schools of thought about it. So let's not pretend. We cannot lie to people. Our supporters are not children. Yeah, let's just be honest with them. There's a group that does not support the idea of engaging with the president. You remember they held rallies against us as a whole. Then they split. And then there's a group that supports that. If you saw what happened in Kisii, the jamboree that ODM had in Kisii, there was not a single elected member of parliament on ODM in Kisii or in Nyamira that attended that function. That should tell you something. We have 3 by-elections in Kisii, ward by-elections. Nobody picked the ODM ticket. Nobody went to pick it. If you go to Kakamega, these are our strongholds. Nobody picked the ODM ticket in Malava. Let's not pretend. I don't like pretending. Yeah. If you go to a meeting, if you remember a meeting that our party leader held in Kakamega a few months ago, of the 12 MPs, only 3 attended, elected on ODM. So as we celebrate, let us do an introspection and say we are no longer what we were once. There's a problem somewhere that we need to deal with. And I would like to advise all the politicians and everybody trying to do a formation. If you want to know who to engage, I think, when you acquire a business, there are 2 methods you are advised to use to do evaluation. One is the asset base, the balance sheet method. But the most accurate one that will give you a fair value is the discounted cash flow. See what is coming in the future. Yeah.
And what is coming in the future for?
Then you will know that if I invest here, my dividends will be like this.
What is coming in the future for ODM?
My reading of the situation, ODM will still be there. But in Nyanza, in Western, in our strongholds, there are going to be other political parties that are going to contest. Because even with the current by-elections, you've seen the issue of zoning between ODM and UDA. And in these upcoming by-elections, I expect ODM to win Kasipul and to win Ugunja. And I think we will do well in Magarini. I was in Magarini. If UDA does not up their campaign, if UDA ups their campaign, it will be a very tight contest.
Okay.
But other than those, and those do not show you the popularity of ODM, because those are traditional areas. We should have demonstrated that we are growing in other areas. So we will win them and we will celebrate, but they don't mean much.
Okay.
They don't mean much. And so for me, I'm seeing a situation where these celebrations, we should ask ourselves, do we have the leadership in the party today that believes in the core values of ODM? Can they inspire our members? Why are people running away from us? Why must we all depend on Baba if Baba is not there? Yes? Because ODM has become mercantilist in its leadership. Mercantilist. What Rigathi Gachagua was saying there. There are those who are in ODM for money, to extract things, not to engage on serious ideological debates.
In the past, we need to learn from the mistakes we made in the past. One of the things that I have learned in the past, I'm beginning my 8th year as SG in February of this party. One of the things we've learned in the past is that we have a responsibility to advise our leaders. And the beauty with the party leader, Raila Odinga, is that he always falls back to his troops to advise him. And he listens to the advice. The advice that we failed to give in 2018-2022 was that you were associating with a government that was extremely unpopular, and that we were going to end up carrying the burden of incumbency when indeed it was not our government. This is the exact same situation that we find ourselves in. But the responsibility on the people who believe in ODM, who believe in the values of this party, is to not make the same mistake we made last time by keeping quiet and saying, oh, let us just keep quiet, this thing will work out. It did not work out. We are not going to make the same mistake. We have a responsibility to say, and I've said it here, it doesn't matter if you are not performing as an incumbent, if you are doing the things that this government is doing, it doesn't matter who supports you. You will still come up short. And I've given you the example of what we did last election. We had a coalition of 26 political parties, including a sitting president. We still came up short, Trevor, because we did not address the issues of the people. And the incumbency, the presidency, all those things that were happening, including the bodies showing up in Rivayala, the state of the economy, the demolitions, all of those things, we ended up carrying that burden. And
you have watched the video and you can clearly hear what Carol is saying and what Sifuna said a while back. That now is coming, the prophecy is coming to pass. Sifuna saw these things and he talked about them. But the ODM never listened. They still meant continue having the relationship with William Ruto. Right now, the regions whereby ODM was used to be very strong, no one is even fighting for their certificates anymore. No one is fighting for their tickets anymore. What is happening to ODM? And who brought all this mess? I believe Raila Odinga brought all this problem on himself. It is Raila Odinga who has brought ODM to its knees. A party that used to be so popular. A party that once got more than 120 members of parliament. in 2000 and I think in 2007. Something is not right. And we talked about it. His association with William Ruto was something that was disastrous. If Raila Odinga still wanted to cool down the country, he could have done it, but he could have not dragged ODM into it. Or he could have gotten stabilized the country and leave and arudi kwa opposition. But him trying to play both sides, trying to look like he's in the government and he's in the opposition, has costed ODM bad so much. It has made ODM look like this party does no longer have the aspirations of the people of the people anymore. People have deserted ODM. And the reason why people are not rushing for their certificate, the aspirants are not rushing for the tickets, is because they understand the ground. The ground is speaking a different language. The ground is telling you if you run on ODM, then you will not win that seat. So everyone doesn't want that ticket anymore. This is embarrassing for Raila Odinga. This is embarrassing for the party that has been there for 20 years. And we said it. We said it. But most of you did not listen to us. Most of you felt like we were fighting Raila Odinga for no reason. They tell me how Raila Odinga is going to reclaim and to bring ODM to where it was. Because even in Nyanza itself, there was a poll that was done that 60% of people in Nyanza do not support broad-based. And what does that tell you? What does that tell you directly? That they don't support the decision of Raila Odinga. Yet, this is a region that once Raila Odinga says left, then it is left for everyone. But look at how things are happening right now. And what does this portends a very big threat even to Raila Odinga in the Nyanza region. Because now it opens a door for other parties to now take shape in Nyanza. And I'm telling you, if ODM continues this relationship with William Ruto, by 2027, we are going to have so many people who will run on ODM tickets who are going to lose for either independent candidates or parties that are even not known. Because there is a rebellion, according to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga thinks that he still holds that yeye akisema people don't need banana holdio. He's forgetting that those days are over, and right now people are really judging him based on the decision that he made to work with William Ruto. William Ruto is someone who is not accepted nationally. And it's not because of anything else, simply because he has failed in so many aspects. Yes, he has achieved in so many things. Like, for example, the share thing, as much as it's not working generally, but it's showing some potential of working because it has worked for some people. So, ODM is on its knees. And Gachagua once said that William Ruto wanted to come into ODM and to make sure that I may destroy. If that was the William Ruto's plan, then William Ruto has succeeded. He has outsmarted Raila. Because ODM right now is not a party to talk about. You have seen even in Kisii, they have been forced to postpone some of their 20 years celebrations severally. Because the ground is very hostile. Even in Kisii, you saw how it turned chaotic. People had to be locked in the stadium. Things are not really looking up good for ODM. And I can say, as I conclude, that this is Raila's doing. If there's anybody who needs to blame himself for where ODM has reached, because right now you can even see Sifuna doesn't go to those 20 years anniversaries. He stopped. Sifuna is the SG of ODM. He has not been to any celebration ya 20 years anniversary ya ODM. I think he has been just in one or two. But everything else, in Mombasa he was not there. In Mandera he was not there. In Kisii he was not there. So, there is something that Raila did wrong. And right now, everything is coming to light. Sifuna warned Raila Odinga because he could see far. And he said clearly that I'm speaking to people on the ground. And they are telling us that these decisions are not good. These decisions is hurting the party on the grassroots level. But Raila never listened. Now, in the Luo, what do we say? Cham nyanji. Cham nyanji. Yani, kula nyanya yako. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. But above it all, as I always say, remain respectful. That is my always insistent all the time. Remain respectful. Remember, we can discuss politics without insult. We can discuss politics without making other people feel less of themselves and maybe attacking their nini. You can stick to issues, stick to decisions that people have made, and you can criticize that. But don't get personal with anybody. It is wrong, and that is not, it doesn't show sign of maturity. Anyway, guys, do so and make sure you follow me for more and more of this. Yes.
African